I feel like now we're seeing the intersection of some sort of spiritual battle happening right before us. This is Tony. Hope you're all doing well. We got a number of things to get into in this video. We got, of course, people now living in their cars. We'll get into that. We have those at the top seemingly becoming more out of touch as the days go forward. We're going to get into some of the stuff going on around us that is pretty surprising, but now is coming to a head. Someone was just arrested because of these cameras we're seeing going up all around, but it was a false arrest. We're seeing a number of these type of things happening, and they're now putting them up in the most ridiculous places you might ever imagine, even golf courses. I don't think you'll be reading any license plates on the middle of the golf course, right? We have a ton of other stuff to get into as well. What's going on with BlackRock? BlackRock is now starting up their own version of something, of course, you and I are not going to like. I'll get into that as well. We have a number of other stories as well, getting into what's coming up in a few days. A solar eclipse, and it's much more than that, apparently. There's going to be a meteor shower. There's going to be a planetary 6 planets aligning. And it's so rare that it'll never happen in your lifetime ever again. And actually for thousands of years, from what I understand. This type of alignment, all these things happening, extremely rare. We're going to get into actually a number of other strangeness as well. Some biblical prophecy, and also, are they trying to tell us something? We got Nino Rodriguez here with an interesting message as well. And our president finally getting some real good stuff signed. I'll get into that as well on the tail end. And then get into sort of the important story at the end. Let's just get going here. Let's start with Americans living in their cars. Parking lots are the new apartments. Rent is too high for people are actually living in cars now. You can see there apparently a lot of people in the parking lot sitting in their cars. Matter of fact, actually one of my friends, he's got a mechanical engineering degree. He can actually fly commercial jets. He was actually living in his car for a while. I think he just got another job. He's been a professor. He's been a pilot coach. He's been an engineer. I used to work with him as an engineer. The guy's super qualified and literally was living in his car for like months and months. This is where we're at, man. It's pretty crazy, actually. And you got these rich at the top, completely out of touch with reality. Check this out. Peter Thiel, Mark Zuckerberg.
Humans are headed towards the glue factory like a horse.
You drink coffee, man, or no?
Nah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you've had it.
I have. Sometimes on vacation, I'll drink it recreationally.
What does that even mean? You recreationally drink coffee. This guy is such a robot.
Wexner, one of the closest known benefactors of Jeffrey Epstein, says...
Right, Wexner. This guy happens to own, and this is what I covered on my other video, and I got into it at the tail end of the last video, so I'll just tell you up front here. This dude owns a number of these wonderful centers, these AI centers, and they happen to be the military ones. So that might be not a good sign, I would say. I don't know. Guy was friends with that Jeffrey guy, a little bit of friends. And like I said, we're going to get into a ton of stuff. We're just getting started. I got all this other insanity to show you, and actually some positive news at the tail end. First of all, I got to mention food supply, 25-year shelf life. Go check it out. Lots of different options available. Month's worth, 3 months worth, a couple days worth, whatever you might need. Link is in the description of this book here, The Lost Ways, how your great-great-grandfather lived without electricity, how to build a cellar, do things around the house as they did in the old days. Hundreds of pages illustrated. You're going to definitely need that before whatever the hell happens next. I laugh, but you never know what's next. It's always wise to be prepared for whatever it might be. Anyway, let's get back to the video. You have these wonderful cameras going up even in the middle of golf courses at this point. Like, what in the world, dude? Obviously, their intention is not what they initially claimed, that it was just to read license plates. There's no license plates in the middle of the freaking golf course, okay? Obviously, that's not the reason. You call them flock. I wonder why, because you look at us like sheep. right? What other reason would you call us that? Right? You have here this guy, Tommy G, and Ben Jordan investigating Flock themselves, using a Flock camera he purchased on eBay to watch them to see how they like it. And apparently they almost get him arrested for it.
They're a very secretive company for a company that doesn't want your secrecy to be preserved. Nondescript building, no signage. We'll track some of these license plates to make sure there's nothing nefarious happening around here. And if they're against that, then they're a left-wing activist. I'm trying to talk to Flock.
You guys gotta go. This is private property. You're not allowed here. I'm sorry. If that's one of ours, we'll take it back.
No. We got it from eBay.
Oh, okay.
We were trying to talk to Flock, guys.
I can't help you there.
Okay, well, you're under surveillance right now. I just hope you know. It's for safety reasons. You're being watched.
Just using what they use on us, claim it's all for safety. Clearly, it has nothing to do with safety. They put themselves in a nondescript building because they're ashamed of who they are. A lot of these companies that do this stuff, they'll get these shell companies and they'll hide the name and make it look like some small company owns it. Really, it's some mega huge behemoth company like Meta or Microsoft owning all these farms. If you were really proud of yourselves, you would just put your name on this building, but you're not proud of yourselves. You're hiding yourselves from everybody and then telling us it's for our safety. I don't think it's for our safety at all, actually. Matter of fact, a lot of these cops are now getting in trouble. Not a lot, but some of these cops. Well, actually, it's a lot in this one location. 6 former Savannah Police Department employees are under criminal investigation after being fired over alleged misuse of these cameras. 6 in one department. Maybe it is a lot of them. I don't know. Getting obsessed with an ex-girlfriend or someone they don't like or whatever it might be.
This morning, 6 former Savannah Police Department employees, including 4 officers, are now under criminal investigation after being fired for allegedly misusing these controversial surveillance cameras made by the company Flock.
Totally honest, I'm disappointed. I'm pissed off about it.
The employees allegedly using the system to make personal searches involving family and acquaintances. The high-tech AI-powered cameras read license plates and store that data for police departments to use.
Oh, they do a lot more than that. And actually, it looks like they're dropping Flock because they got a bad name. But guess what? There's a new company coming up, and they're doing a lot more than just reading your license plate. And they want to put it on every single light post. And it's from the company BlackRock. BlackRock. Of course it's BlackRock, right? I'll show you that in a little bit. But I wanted to show you something else that's happening with these Flock, company. Apparently making a lot of mistakes through these police departments. They shut down an entire freeway, boxed in a silver SUV, held 2 people there, because they accidentally flagged the wrong person. Okay? Accidentally. Whoops. They did it twice to this woman here. Actually, no, that's not even it. That's a different one. No, where's the one with the woman that gets arrested twice? I got it around here somewhere. There's so many of these I got. My goodness. I don't know if maybe it's this one. I can't remember if it's this one or not. Maybe this is a different one.
Where police officer Josue Ayala obsessively used Flock 180 times over a 2-month span to stalk his ex-girlfriend. And in McHenry County, Illinois, where I grew up, the same story played out where a police chief used Flock to creep on 3 separate exes and was later charged with multiple felonies.
Bro,
and there are
3 separate exes.
countless stories like this.
For example, earlier this year in Florida, a sheriff who was working a side security job for a film set started hitting on an actress and repeatedly approached her even after she told him that she had a boyfriend. Other extras on the set noticed this and intervened, so he used the police database to find her vehicle.
Oh my goodness, of course he did. Of course he did. They should just call them stalk cameras. It's probably a better name for them. I mean, it does seem kind of like what they are. Invasion of your privacy cameras. Maybe that's what the new name for them, There was a lady that got pulled over twice. They kept tagging her, even though she was completely innocent, like harassing her nonstop. I lost that story. I have so many other ones open. I don't know where it went. I saw this as well. This was a very, very ironic thing. Top investor in this company funds a company that is able to hack security cameras and change the footage without trace. So some of the people that are actually backing this company, some of the corporations backing Flock, are like ones that know how to hack into cameras and change the footage. That's like one of the main companies funding them. Like, how is that a good thing? Like, you got a company that's like, yeah, let's invest in this Flock. Oh, we specialize in hacking cameras and changing what it shows on the camera. That's like insane. That's like having like some guy that's already been convicted for scamming on your board for your company or something. It's like not exactly a good look. Maybe because your intention is not good. Your name is literally Flock. Like we're a flock of sheep or something, a flock of birds. We're watching them. You know what I mean? Like, bro, seriously. This is pathetic. And it just shows you kind of how it is. You got BlackRock is quietly turning streetlights into cameras as well. And it will not only just read license plates, it'll live stream and also will know the make and model of your car, even notice if it has damage on it, bumper stickers. And also I just saw one saying that they'll know what your bumper sticker says and what affiliation it will be for or what it's with. So they'll know more about you as well. Let's just check this out real quick.
25% of Axon is owned by BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. You know, the same people who have openly said things like this.
You're going to have to change, and this is one thing we're asking companies. You have to force behaviors, and at BlackRock we are forcing behaviors. You know, what we are doing internally is if you don't achieve these levels of impact, your compensation could be impacted, okay?
No, we need to force behaviors on these politicians, not them on us. We need to force them to stop lying, stop hiding things, start telling the truth, start doing your job right, stop stealing money from people through various groups and organizations, through our tax money. We need to do that. We need to use these cameras for you, not for us, because we're not the problem. It seems like you guys are the problem. You guys are the ones causing all the trouble in the world, and we're just trying to get it back to what it was. Matter of fact, here's a guy who literally said the exact same thing I just said, and actually I said it on my previous video as well on my other channel. He said that at one of the city council meetings. Check this out.
Winslow's. This is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I'm going to call for more Flock cameras. That's right, I want more. I want them in the commissioner's offices. I want them in front of commissioners' houses. I want them in front of the sheriff's house. I want them in the sheriff's office. Anytime the sheriff or commissioner leaves their house, a drone should launch from the camera and follow the all around. This drone will stream that data to the public in real time. Don't worry, though, they are just license plate readers. It's just taking pictures, no big deal. I'm totally not lying to you. Chip said he wants as many as he can get. Well, let's start here. Don't forget to spring extra for the digital live.
Honestly, yeah, where are the real criminals at? Honestly, the real criminals are pretty much at the top. Some of the biggest ones, some of the biggest fish to fry, they haven't been fried yet. Went to that island, you know, with Jeffrey. They're all walking around free, not being monitored whatsoever, getting away potentially with crimes in real time currently, like the crimes they did in the past. And they're the ones that want to monitor us, not the other way around. Seems like, I think this guy's right. We need to be using these on them, not them on us. We need to be taking all their data. We need to be watching them and holding them accountable. We actually put them in office and they're not doing their jobs whatsoever. They're actually literally working against us. That's what it seems like to me. At any rate, getting on to the next thing, we have some good news. We got some really rare event happening in 2 days. We're talking about 6 planets aligning in a line. We got a solar eclipse and a meteor shower all on the same day, which is extremely rare. I hear it's something like once in I can't remember the exact number, but it's like once in 5,000 years or something ridiculous like that. It's something extremely rare. And we're seeing this in our lifetime. So, as it says in Scripture, these are for signs and for seasons. And clearly, if it's something extremely rare, it's definitely a sign of something. Is it a good sign or a bad one? We have a number of people talking about that something is here and has arrived. We're talking about our president. We're talking about Elon putting out cryptic tweets as they've done in the past. Some are saying that we're coming up on something rather big here. Is it tied in? I don't know. But you also have posts like this, and I think it is actually true. I went looking back in the 80s and 90s fishing videos. You can clearly see the sky and the sun were different. I don't know 100% what they're doing, of course, to our sky. But look how yellow it was back then. This reminds me of some of the shows I watched when I was younger. It's like obviously very different looking. Right? Like the colors just are not there like they were before. It reminds me of these like commercials in the 80s too. Look at that, dude. It never looks like that anymore. Even that one's yellow, and that's like a completely different lighting. And it's just, you can still see the yellow there. This is obviously at sort of dusk or dawn or something. Could be either one. Could be, I'm guessing it'd probably be dusk. Right? I mean, who knows? It looks like they've been there for a while. I don't know. That's what I'm just guessing. But even with this one, you can tell it's whiter, but it's still got that yellow look to it a little bit, right? Compared to my mouse right there. You can see it's yellow. And I mean, today, even if it's dusk, you don't get that really yellow-orange look like that. I mean, this is crazy. Like, you don't get that anymore, right? You don't get it looking like that even at dusk these days. I mean, look at that, dude. Wow. That is just crazy looking. I don't remember it looking like that. I've been around a while. I don't remember that. I mean, maybe it's been so long. I just haven't seen that in so long. Maybe when I was a kid or something. I didn't live in the mountains, though. I went to Colorado when I was a kid, though. One time. I think we went to Yellowstone. Yeah, we went to Yellowstone when I was a kid, too. But, so some are saying maybe we're coming upon something. You have here from Habakkuk 1:5, look among the nations and watch, be utterly astounded, for I will work a work in your days which you would not believe, though it were told you. And that's kind of what I just get this feeling that's what's going to happen. Something that wouldn't be believable. Obviously, a lot of stuff that's happened to us over the last 5-10 years. If you would have told someone back in 2010 what's going to happen, they wouldn't believe you. Like, what? Really? Hell no, that doesn't. We're all stuck in our homes. We can't go to our job. Really? They wouldn't even believe it. Right? They wouldn't believe it. So I'm thinking that's going to happen again. We're going to see more unbelievable stuff. But I think it's going to be in a positive direction. I just get this feeling like God is going to intervene in some way, shape, or form. Because clearly we're going the wrong direction. It shouldn't be rocket science, okay? It's not looking good. It's not looking good. But we have here David Nino Rodriguez, talking about some of the stuff that has been posted of recent by Elon, our president, and others. Check this out.
What's going on? So something is happening online right now, folks. And whether you believe it's coordinated or not, you'd better pay attention. Because suddenly the word storm is absolutely everywhere. General Michael Flynn is talking about the storm. Elon Musk is pushing imagery and language suggesting.
Yeah, so they're all doing it right now. They're all doing it. And our president is now starting to do some stuff again. I'm actually getting a little bit happy, a little bit excited. Because, like, he does this thing where he'll do good stuff for like a month or two, and then he just goes back to his stuff that's just like, what are you doing, dude? Really? Iran more? Like, you know what I mean? Like he has these times where he just gets in and he starts going on a roll and he starts doing a lot of good stuff. And then he goes asleep for a while, for like months, and then he comes back and starts doing good stuff again. That's kind of how I feel like about him, actually. It's like sometimes he's there, sometimes he's not there. I don't know how you guys look at him, but we have here him just signed a schedule for vaccines from 72 to 11 for the younger and for those going to school. And also you have the option of not getting any now as well. At least in my state you do. And I think there are other states. I know Florida does that. I think there's a lot of states that do that now. But the fact it was 72 is just insane. Like, why was it 72? And then also we have them looking into what's in these things, which is important as well, considering what we saw back in 2020 and 2021. Obviously, a lot of people are not exactly trusting them on these things. And we have here also Kennedy announces end to food chemical loophole, where they were, and this is the thing about America and the FDA compared to Europe. Europe has much more stringent values when it comes to what can be put in food. In America, they just let a lot of stuff fly, which obviously a lot of people are not happy about. I'm not happy about it. You have here, it's official, Kellogg's is removing artificial colors from Fruit Loops and Apple Jacks an entire year ahead of schedule, probably because everyone's getting sick and tired of it. You have here this loophole rule change to block food manufacturers from sneaking chemicals into our supply without being transparent about it. Food companies will now have to notify the FDA when the use of a substance added to a human or animal food is generally recognized as safe. We cannot reverse America's chronic disease epidemic without transforming our food system. 100% agree with that. I think most of it's not all that. I mean, there's a lot of things that cause it, but that's a big one. That's a big factor.
Almost exactly 2 years later, we're here celebrating the most transformative 18 months of food reform in modern American history.
I could tell you he would want to do 10 times as much as he's already done. Probably 100 times. I guarantee you he's being held back because he knows a lot of this stuff that we know.
And today we're taking 2 more historic steps to deliver on that promise that we made 2 years ago. First, we're overhauling the generally recognized as safe of the GRAS standards for that and the entire GRAS framework. We're proposing a rule that would end the practice of companies making GRAS determinations without notifying the FDA. The proposal will give the agency greater visibility into the substances that are entering our food supply.
Yeah, and they use general labels sometimes as well. Natural food flavors. Like, what is natural flavors? What does that even mean, right? They'll put stuff on the box and you don't even know what it exactly means. And getting back to this whole thing with the eclipse, okay? And some of the things that people are talking about here, you have General Mike here talking about the storm, as they say. And what does this exactly mean? Right now, church bells across the country are ringing. The question is, anyone listening? I do realize some of you are listening because we communicate with each other fairly routinely. Despite the advent of social media allowing warning signs to be addressed, the sound must not be loud enough. Most America doesn't realize how far we've gone over to socialism. I agree with that. Politics, as usual, won't do the trick anymore. And matter of fact, this is what we're talking about with these cameras. This is literally the system they would use. We have people in Romania. I just played a clip of Tim Robbins over on Joe Rogan on my other channel. I think it was on my main channel, God Rolls. Was it my main channel? No, it was on my secondary, God Rolls too. But he was talking about when he had some friends from Romania. He was talking to them about things going on in America. He's like, what is it about America? What in America's culture, things going on in America that reminds you of the Soviet Union? And they said, without a doubt, cancel culture. And they talked about how they would keep binders on every single person. And when you stepped out of line, they'd pull out this binder that had stuff you did 30 years ago in it. Oh, you had an affair 10 years ago with the secretary. Everybody's going to know about it now. So these cameras are putting everywhere could be essentially their book where they get all the information on you, all the bad things you've done. They hold it against you and tell you, you must do what we say or all this comes out, which is exactly what that island was all about for those running things. So it's just a new version of that. We'll get all the goods on you. You step out of line, you don't do what we tell you. Guess what comes out, bro? And this is what they're trying to do. I think that's part of it. It makes sense, actually. And that would be a form of communism. Or you can say in some cases, you see also what's going on with socialism in some places like New York City. They got these government-owned supermarkets and stuff. You can see also with how they're trying to not sell us things, but make them subscriptions. That is because one of the tenets of communism is you can't own property. So they want to move you from owning things like cars to renting, or they lend them to you, right? Or you subscribe. You don't own your house. That's why you're paying property taxes. They should do away with property taxes. They should do away with these subscriptions. They should do away with these cameras everywhere, unless they want to put them in these politicians' houses, because that sounds great to me. Except for the way it was in communism is the exact way they're trying to build it right now. We should reverse it onto them. They're the problem. Those at the top, not us, right? We're the ones actually following the rules while they're breaking them in some cases, or maybe in many cases. They have all the power. They can do whatever they want, right? In some cases. So I think he's right about this. I think that there is something that we're going to be seeing soon here, but I think it's going to be God that's going to be turning this around, because man clearly is not doing a good job of it. I don't know about you guys. That's kind of how I look at it. I was going to talk about this, but we're already at the tail end of the video. This is kind of interesting, though. Talking about the real time frame that we're in the book of Revelation. I'll have to get into that in another video.